And with these new rules, there will be a larger police presence, but also tonight, the city of Miami will issue a curfew starting at 10 p.m. and it will last until 5 a.m. tomorrow. You have to think back about 5 weeks ago was when social distancing began. These businesses closed and the streets became empty. Capacity to 750. And officials did tell us there would be long lines, but look at this. We have never seen so many cars at this time. Here's a bird's eye view from Chopper 4. There are hundreds of cars. The line wraps around the testing site and goes past the turnpike. Good morning. We're here at the John F. Kennedy Library here in Hialeah, and people are already lined up. Walk me this way. You can see the line goes down a block from the library. Maribel, we've had hundreds of people come here, but take a look. We're here actually at the end of the line. This car, he's the last one coming. And if you violate these orders, you could be fined up to $500. In Miami Beach, Jessica Vallejo, CBS 4 News. Good morning. We're here at Sergio's, where many people come to get their cafecitos in the morning, especially at this time. And what I want you to look at is that they have Germix here, and all morning these workers have been cleaning. The road is closed off, and if you want to get tested, testing will be from 9 to 5 on a daily basis. There have been some precinct site relocations for March 17th. To see a list of those, go to the Broward County Supervisor of Elections website. Broward County declared a local state of emergency. And yesterday, over 700 first responders and healthcare workers came to get tested. 2 residents have died from COVID-19 and 5 have tested positive for the virus. This is all to ease the long lines and also make sure they're enforcing social distancing, which was thrown out the window yesterday at a library in Hialeah. Unemployed house workers, servers, and cooks, this is just to name a few, place these signs outside of State House Speaker Jose Oliva's office. Tents have been set up here at the Urban League in Broward County. This testing site will open tomorrow. Again, if you're having symptoms, you can walk up to this site. You have a mask, gloves, and glasses. So when these first responders don't know that they're going to a COVID-19 call, this is what they're wearing.
Super excited about it. We've been waiting for a while, so I'm looking forward to it.
Gates opened Wednesday morning at the Miami Beach Marina, and people like Gus Serrano wasted no time.
We got a new boat. We're ready to go.
Yeah, Funny's back.
After being shut for more than 7 weeks since the COVID-19 pandemic, this is a new norm for now. At marinas and ramps, social distancing is required, and people have to wear a mask or face covering until their boat has departed from the marina. But some people at the Miami Beach Marina were not adhering to the rules.
We did. I've seen people wearing the mask. Not everyone, like these guys you can see, sometimes they don't comply, but we try to do it.
This morning, gates were also unlocked at parks and golf courses throughout Miami-Dade County.
Coming to play.
At Greno's Park in North Miami, Chuck Glorenberg was one of the many lined up before the park opened.
This is like being let out of jail.
But he came to take a few swings with his own driver and irons, like the others out on the golf course.
I'm really happy about it. It's been a long time.
Feel safe being out here?
Oh, sure.
While Tony Miyomi covered up, others didn't. Security guards were seen asking people in the park to put on their mask. And just a reminder, at the parks, no organized sports are allowed. Parks are open for limited hours. And again, social distancing is required. And if you violate these orders, you could be fined up to $500. In Miami Beach, Jessica Vallejo, CBS 4 News. The testing site has reached its capacity for the day. They did give out 400 tests, but do listen up throughout the week. If you are having symptoms of COVID-19 or if you were exposed to anyone that had the coronavirus, you can get tested at this site. The state is relaxing its current testing requirements at the Hard Rock Stadium. If you're having symptoms of COVID-19 or if you were exposed to anyone who tested positive for the coronavirus, you can now get tested.
My son works for Amazon, and so there have been a number of people that have been ill, and so just out of an abundance of caution, we're checking him out.
Since the feds will no longer be involved in this drive-through testing site, the state has more freedom. Initially, the site was only reserved for seniors with symptoms and first responders. But many people we spoke to at the site say testing should have opened sooner for those of any age.
And I'm 61. I just started with my symptoms not too long ago, and I haven't been able to, get tested. before this.
I don't think it's fair to the public, and only testing such a small percentage of people, we're all still at risk.
And now if you do bring a child, you must be a parent or legal guardian with paperwork. Also, do expect backup at the drive-through testing site as no appointment is needed. Monday morning, hours before the drive-through testing site opened, hundreds lined up.
I don't know what to say because it was very hard for me.
And for Angela Muhammad, who was one of those waiting in line, getting the second examination was crucial to her. After testing positive for COVID-19, she quarantined at home for more than 3 weeks.
I went through a very hard time, but thank God.
She says she hopes she has won the battle, hoping to get a negative result for COVID-19 at the Hard Rock Stadium testing site.
I should be thankful all the time.
Again, testing started here at 9 a.m. this morning, and people were lined up about 3 hours before, so officials do urge you to get in line early. We're live in Miami Gardens. Jessica Vallejo, CBS 4 News. The National Guard right now is inside of St. Anne's Center testing, and that's after 10 staff members and 4 residents tested positive. Now, Maribel, those 4 residents remain in isolation at this time, but today the National Guard did tell staff members that everyone would get tested. However, only 10 have been selected.
It's almost like you have to win the lottery
to get tested for COVID-19, says Dr. Brian Kidrowski.
We're hoping that everybody can win the lottery.
The National Guard is testing patients at St. Anne's Nursing Center. Dr. Kidrowski, the chief medical doctor at the facility, says they were informed that on Thursday, all patients and staff members would get tested for the coronavirus.
We are happy that they're here to support us. As you know, the testing kits have been sparse, and so we've been trying to, we want to test our whole campus today if we can.
But Dr. Kidrowski was informed only 10 patients would get tested, and he doesn't know the mechanism of how the National Guard is deciding. Currently, 4 patients remain in isolation with the virus. Dr. Kidrowski says it's crucial to have the whole community of St. Anne's tested to stop the spread. He's concerned some patients could be asymptomatic.
So what we're trying to do is find out, where this virus may be. And so we, for population health management, we want to be able to test a good size of our population, if not all of it.
And while staff says they have been doing their part following protocols, this is the view of the living room empty. Everyone inside their rooms practicing social distancing.
Right now, our residents have all been encouraged to stay in their rooms, and we're providing in-room activities.
They are in hopes more can get tested.
We're not sure, but we're glad they're here.
Again, only 10 patients have been selected, but that number could change. We're live in St. Anne's Center. Jessica Vallejo, CBS 4 News. City of Miami Beach, you are required to cover your nose and mouth with either a mask or a bandana. But I want you to take a look just right behind me. We're here at the Whole Foods in Miami Beach. Law enforcement has been here all morning. People have been lining up to go inside of the store, and some are wearing masks, but the others that are not are being turned away by law enforcement.
We have to do it.
It makes other people feel safe as well, even though if you're not sick, but make other people feel safe.
Tuesday morning at the Trader Joe's in Miami Beach, people waited in line with their nose and mouth covered.
Mask?
Yes.
Gloves, protection, I have a spray.
And Isabel from Miami Beach came a little extra prepared to go grocery shopping.
Well, I have a condition, I have bad lungs, so I have to be very careful.
And at the Whole Foods in Miami Beach, employees of the store also stood next to law enforcement, making sure people were abiding to the new rules amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Because as of Tuesday in Miami Beach, it is required to wear a mask to shop at any store. A bandana can also be used as a substitute. Restaurant, pharmacies, and store workers must keep their nose and mouth covered.
Do the best you can not to spread the virus or for that matter, expose yourself to it.
Miami Beach Police Chief Richard Clemens says officers are enforcing local and statewide orders, but a criminal violation is not the first approach.
Hey, these are what the rules are. This is what we're all being governed by, so we have to make sure that we follow them.
And if you don't take the warning seriously, it is a criminal offense. These people in Miami Beach say they are glad rules are being enforced by law enforcement and employees of the stores, making them feel safer.
Those people are protected because it's in the air.
It's a good idea, especially for the elderly people, for the people with conditions. They have immune system that's low.
And Miami Lakes is also now following these same rules. But just a reminder, if you do violate these orders, it is a second-degree misdemeanor and you will get arrested. We're live in Miami Beach. Jessica Vallejo, CBS 4 News. While the governor hasn't put the state on lockdown, both Miami and Broward County political leaders have issued new orders, and that's to stay home. Also today, Miami-Dade Mayor Carlos Jimenez is ordering essential businesses that remain open to have any sort of visuals that enforce social distancing.
Stay safer at home.
Miami-Dade Mayor Carlos Jimenez announced late Thursday his 12th emergency order since the coronavirus appeared in South Florida to shelter in place.
What we want is for people to act like they have the virus and stay home, except for essential services like grocery stores, pharmacies, and takeout food counters. That's the only way we can begin to control the spread of the virus.
And people seem to be complying, staying in their homes. On Friday morning, this was 836 Expressway, empty during rush hour traffic. And this was a scene in downtown Miami. Businesses shut and restaurants only open for takeout or delivery. People seen walking but covered with masks and gloves. Those shopping at Publix stood 6 feet apart.
We had to think about everybody. So it's basically everybody out for themselves here.
I stay at home most of the time. It's first time after 3 days that I went out to buy some things and back to the house.
Miami-Dade's order began immediately. Broward County went into effect last night. But what does shelter in place mean? It means you must stay home and avoid contact with anyone outside. You are allowed to travel for work, medical appointments, groceries, and takeout. You can still be outside to exercise, but you're asked to observe social distancing. Under the orders, you can leave home for emergencies.
I think it's a great idea. Personally, I think it should have been done a lot earlier. A lot sooner than this.
The big question remains, though, for how long are we expected to do this?
The League of Cities agrees that Miami-Dade County's battle against the spread of COVID-19 will be long-term, based on the medical evidence.
Until we see a drop in the number of new cases, then we can say, okay, something is happening that's reversing this.
And with these new orders, there will be a larger police presence, but also tonight there will be a curfew issued here in the city of Miami starting at 10 p.m. and it will last until 5 a.m. tomorrow. We're live in Miami. Jessica Vallejo, CBS 4 This Morning.